Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian.
What is up? Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. MD here. It is Tuesday night. It is 8:02. It is May 16th, if you guys can believe it. We are 4 days away from the season finale, the spring season finale, PC Masters coming up this weekend, and it's going to be a crazy weekend. For those of you who are not aware and do not know, we have decided to move to Mission Del Lago in working with the tour, or with the trail, excuse me. They helped us get reset at Mission Del Lago for the PC Masters. They're going to be hosting the Masters for the first time. The course is in great shape. Nothing but good feedback about that golf course throughout the entire season. So super excited to be out there. And we're going to be talking about that tonight, talking a little bit about course setup, answering some questions, talking a little bit about the top 10, kind of some projections, and maybe some picks on who we think is going to be potentially taking it this year and for the PC Masters, as well as who might be our top 3 to make the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. And got a bunch more to talk about tonight. But before we do that, let's bring out the team. Joining us live from a discotheque, the Viking. And he's on mute, so he can't say anything. And he's acting like he can't.
Oh, I'm back. I thought I was coming on fourth. My bad.
I was just drawn to the colors in the background there. And
trying to live it up, you know. We might do some tunes here throughout the night. So just be prepared.
Don't play tunes because we will go off air because it will catch as frog. Don't play music.
Oh, too bad.
I don't even know if you can hum it.
Live,
Jason, just have to see what happens. But Casey, living it up. It's party week. It is the Masters. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Busy day at work, but podcasts will turn that attitude around.
There you go. Getting in any practice this week before the Masters?
I plan on doing something either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on weather. If it's not raining tomorrow, we'll hit balls tomorrow after work. If it's raining, we hope that it clears up on Thursday, and then maybe even Friday. So yes, plenty of practice, trying to zero in these shots, and it's a big weekend.
You're playing really, really good golf right now. Obviously, not necessarily competing for the top 3 spots, but anyone who's watched you play golf the last couple of weeks has to be thinking Casey Graham is a very, very large threat going into the Masters week. So that is awesome, man. Let's go ahead and bring out Well, his name now is he just wants to be known as Mr. Bird.
Yes, you can call me Mr.
T.
Bird now. It's
Hmm.
Casey is not happy with that, but I think I've reached a mature age where I can just start going by Mr. now. You kids need to start calling me Mr. Bird.
Before we jump on the thing you call us kids here, there is one person who will join us. He is younger, but I had a horrifying revelation today. I got home, did all my stuff, whatever. I told Cindy, hey, I'm going to go hop in the shower real quick before dinner, whatever. White hairs.
Oh,
I've got white hairs.
I've had white hair since middle school. Welcome.
Yeah, I never had seen that before, and I was just going like this, and I'm like, what? And I pulled them all. I pulled all of them out. They're all gone now. But I told Cindy, I'm like, what? I am 31 years young.
Welcome to the 30s.
Yeah, that's exactly what she walked out of the bathroom. She's like, welcome to your 30s, dumbass. I was like, perfect. Thanks, babe. Feel good. Definitely not worried at all.
Name?
I think she learned it from my mom. Oh. So I don't know if it's a different household I live in. Actually, you know what? Think about how no one's nice to me when we play golf. It's exactly like that at home too, which is why I probably gravitate towards that group. It just feels better that way. Special guest, kind of co-host. Travis is not here tonight. Was not necessarily anticipating Jason and Casey. Softball was canceled because of weather. So I had already reached out to people, and I was like, I need someone to co-host. And I'm like, well, who gave us some of the best numbers that we've ever had? Well, that is this thin to win young man, Jason Sandoval. And look at him all like relatively clean shaven.
Whoa.
No, we don't believe clean shaven over here.
He shaved this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already back, but like
the handsome young man.
For my intro, I'd like to say a fun fact about myself is that I'll never turn 30. I'm not going to allow it. So we won't be able to get white hair.
Just going to jump off a bridge.
Yeah. So
it'll never happen.
Yeah. That's my fun fact. That's it.
Sucks.
Well, guys, Jason, Jason is a jet-setting young man now who is a boss and who runs around the country doing things. Are you playing this weekend, or are you gone this weekend?
I am tentatively in, yes.
Okay. Avoiding the rain potentially. How is practice at TPC looking for you this week?
You're
a member there, correct? I don't recall.
Yeah. I will confess that I am not preparing for the PC Masters. I am preparing for Kohler instead. So I have been walking 9, walking 18, been playing 36 in a day. Been going to the gym and running, and I've cut some weight. I'm trying to get into Kohler form because everyone knows Kohler is a marathon, not a sprint.
That is a pretty damn accurate statement. I know there's even been some discussion. I was talking to Travis about it the other day. Like I know he's planning on walking the river course like that first day. He's just going to let the four caddy take the cart. He wants to walk more, and that's kind of.
I'm taking a cart whenever I can.
I will walk whenever I can. So
I'm going to try and walk. My knee is still not great, but I am going to try and at least walk 18 at some point this weekend and just test run it. It doesn't matter. I'll be fine either way, but I'm going to at least try and do it.
Steve Robert brings up a point here, MD, and I'm not even sure if you're aware of this yet.
It's too early in the show.
Yes. Let's tell this story. So Casey, we have a foursome set for 2:00 because we like to play in the afternoon, but Casey and I decided if it's not raining, we're going to play at 8:00 as well. We're going to 36 it. So that ends up happening, right? And so we see Steve Robert and Roland and Chris Hughes in the pro shop. They're about to go off at 9:00. I have no idea. Either way, as everyone knows, 2 and 7 are a double green. So when Casey and I get to 7, we encounter Steve Roberts' group on number 2. And at this point, Casey and I are having what I can describe is a pillow fight.
With no feathers.
The greens have been cut. They are very firm, but it's dewy, so nothing's holding. We're playing absolutely terrible golf. I think we're both like 11 over after 6, and this is a real thing. We're not embellishing this.
There's a scorecard.
And then Casey hits the green on 7, and then I am long right-ish, maybe short right-ish. I'm in that rough to the right. I hit a flop shot to, I don't know, what do you call it, 10, 12 feet, Casey? I don't know. It wasn't close.
15.
And, and Casey's just a wee bit inside me, so I get to putt first. And I drain that putt in front of Steve Robert for my first par of the day. And then Steve Robert yells over and says, now Casey's going to make that putt on you. And Casey just drains that exact same putt from like 2 feet shorter right on top of it. And we look like total ballers, even though we're both sitting at like 11 over through 7.
Well, that would have made me 10, I think.
That would have been exactly. So we end up shooting like 88s. It was not a good morning round. It was brutal.
Well,
you guys
to let the
lit it up on the second 18 of the day, though. It seems
like we played canyons on the second 18, and we were up a couple tee boxes, so that was some scoring time.
You played
14 tee boxes. I played blues. I'm not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there.
What are you talking about? That course is at least 1,000 yards shorter than the Oaks.
All right, MD, what you got next?
I was going to ask Sandoval how his prep for the Masters is going before we jumped into friggin' TPC and your practice.
The practice for this weekend. So last weekend we played in an amateur qualifying, Texas AM qualifying on Thursday.
That was you and Doc, right?
I had less than a stellar day. I would prefer not to talk about it. And
I didn't even bring that up.
And from there, I decided to not touch my clubs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, I ended up sneaking like Sunday afternoon, going and played 18 at Almost, had fun time. Just good reset, chill around, no scorecards. I don't even know what I shot. I think it was pretty good though. And then yesterday, normal Monday, take the day off. Tuesday, day off, and then we'll go practice Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I think we have the same schedule, Sando.
I went and hit golf balls yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was the first day I had touched my clubs in like 5 or 6 days. Yeah. Cindy was out of town. I had Emma, and I did go practice putting on Sunday afternoon. I took her to the putting green, and we were working on her golf etiquette. So she made some putts, and then she'd scream, "Yay!" And we're like, "Nope, we don't scream on green." So I got a video
before.
I have a video of her making, she put the ball up to, this and tapped it in. She goes, "Yay!" And then she goes like this to herself afterwards because she knew
she's been watching too much Casey. Casey putting. Casey cheers after every putt he's ever made.
Hell yeah. You gotta get the juices going, whether it's a double or a birdie. You still gotta putt, because you know what? The guy behind you that's watching you, he might think you just made birdie.
No. Yeah, that's true.
It might put some pressure on that shot that he's about to hit.
Fair. That is very true. And so, I mean, we did a little putting with her. Practice yesterday was great to just go hit and swing and get loose. I didn't get to practice today, but yeah, I'll be probably practice tomorrow, practice Thursday. I'll be at Mission at 6 a.m. I think on Friday morning. Getting the tee boxes. I will be setting up tee boxes, painting the course, getting pin locations set, getting all that stuff prepped, and then not hopefully, sure as shit, and playing in the afternoon without question. So that'll be my week of prep and practice. I've checked out. I'm in Kohler.
Fair.
I will check back in.
The shuttles were confirmed today, so I know it's real now. No more changing shuttle times. They're like, "Yep, we're locked in, baby."
Dude, it's coming up fast. Like the guy who does our the guy who does all of my ball markers. Really, really good dude. If you go on Instagram, this guy, the account's Early Birdie Custom, and he does all the ball markers that I have made. You guys each probably have one and have seen those. I have the new 5 coming for Kohler for the podcast ambassador guys. He sent me some of the finals that are done now. They look freaking sick. So I'm looking forward to getting those, and like that's me like, okay, trip's going, trip's happening, let's go, like friggin' ready. Casey and I are gonna be slumming it in the car for 20 hours together.
Whew.
Poor Casey.
Yeah.
Poor Casey. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna be too amped up. I might not even stop. Might go all the way straight through.
I mean, I won't need to stop. Like, I'll need food and to go to the bathroom. Like, aside from that, we will have.
I don't think I'm going to stop for either of those. I'm just going to keep going. Just right there. Yeah.
Just trucker,
I mean,
baby.
Yeah, your truck gets like. I mean, we need gas. I think that's got to happen either way, unless that thing started getting 1,000 miles a gallon or some number. That truck ain't taking us all the way. But I mean, shit, I'm gonna sit. I'll work. I'll sit on my laptop and work and be remote. I don't have to take PTO for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That'd be great.
Just put on some tunes and start passenger singing. I'm sure Casey would love that. Serenade him.
That turn on
the music with no lyrics.
How do you feel about driving with a movie on?
I mean, I'll be looking out the windshield, so I'd do whatever you want.
Just put it on the HUD.
I put a movie. When I drive back and forth, obviously, to San Antonio so often. Like, I listen. Like, if I'm rewatching a show or a movie I've seen 1,000 times, I just let it play over my speakers, and I just.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. How do we feel about this, Sando?
You'd be on a plane in first class over the top of us. Who cares?
MD's confirmed psycho.
How am I a psycho?
How did she know I booked first class?
I don't know. I don't know about that. You could have said something like a podcast or.
I mean, I put on podcasts and I put on that stuff too. But I like movies.
Do you ever listen to us again? Like,
I like
put our podcast on?
I do. I put our podcast on and I listen to it. I have a couple of Zen. I have a couple of Zen books that I listen to, like Zen golf books that I listen to. I have stuff that I listen to. I like movies. I like movies. I like TV shows, and I tend to just throw them on and listen to it in the background as I drive. I mean, I spend 4+ hours in the car driving to and from Jeffrey Wern, Frozen.
I
don't. I assume he's singing Frozen sing-along.
Yeah, do it.
First of all, as a parent to a 3-year-old, I can sing every song from Frozen.
Hey,
that's not the problem here. The problem is I would rather take an ice pick to the side of my friggin' skull before I listen to another Disney song.
No more song-alongs.
No more song-alongs. All right, guys. Let's talk about the PC Masters. Let's talk about this week. Obviously, big news. The changes. We are at Mission Del Lago, moving away from BRAC. Ultimately, the trail wanted to make sure that we were given the best conditions possible to play this event and to make sure that the majors get a lot of good attention. And Mission Del Lago was available, a place that they could host us. Unfortunately, it is, I think, pretty much fighting Northern for best conditions and really the best course on trail right now. Thoughts on that move? And what do you guys think? Does this change impact how we're looking at the top 3 and maybe who we thought might win at BRAC as our PC Masters champions? Does this change that kind of thought process a little bit? Casey, what are your thoughts?
I think it changes tremendously, especially off the tee. Mission, I feel like Mission could be twice as long as BRAC, just because some of those tee shots and it's tipped out. So I believe the longer hitters, if they're hitting it accurate off the tee, may have a little bit of advantage there. Those guys that have perfect irons are still going to be good. I think it's all about distance off the tee at Mission Del Lago. So the length, I believe, is going to play as to an advantage for those longer hitters and maybe a disadvantage as those shorter ones.
Yeah, I think
Brack.
go ahead. So I think Brack's very interesting because about this time you roll around and everyone's in kind of good golf form and stuff, and the improvers, the big net winners, can kind of just go to Brack for 2 days and just like put a net score together that's huge, right? Whereas maybe that doesn't happen as drastically at Mission because it's just kind of, obviously a lot tougher. And so I feel like usually we go to a PC Masters and there's like some super high net scores or super low net scores, right? Maybe that doesn't happen as much at Mission, so that may be something to look out for. If someone's kind of rolling through the net side usually, maybe they would continue that at Brack and maybe they don't at Mission. Who knows?
I think the other piece of it too is it's, Brack is such a hard golf course to set because even tipped out, it's not that long. I think where it'll be interesting is obviously the way that Mission is set for those times that we have had a 2-day event out there, or even just in the general thought process of it should be, okay, Saturday, maybe a little bit easier pin position, maybe a little bit easier tee box, play some stuff off, let's try and get some fun scores going. But come Sunday, assume Sunday it's tipped out, assume Sunday it's going to be tougher pins. I think it's going to be really, really interesting, especially to your point, going into some of those guys who have been producing a lot of wins out of net. And I think it's an equalizer off the tee for some of those people. The advantage that they've had off the tee, it gets removed a slight bit just because now that length. And if we got wind and we've got any sort of weather going,
like the draw. Think about the draw, like of people that are on borders between flights. Think about how important like a stronger champ flight and the ripples that makes down to a guy that get pushed out of first flight into second, or the person that gets pushed out of third into fourth, something like that.
And we are officially the Masters is sold out. It is closed. Email info@stxmtour.golf to get on the wait list if you do want to play. But we should have first notice of players out tomorrow night. So we'll kind of see how that falls. And we all know Masters tends to bring some people out of the woodwork that haven't maybe played during the season, or they maybe played 1 or 2 events. So we start to see some of those players. You see like a Bart Wilson show up, maybe a Casey Carnes making a reappearance. Aaron Flores maybe comes out. And then we've got, obviously a bunch of really good golfers. You've got some people that are heating up at the moment right now in their game. It'll be interesting to see where the flights are. Because again, to your point, like there's some people, like I think about myself where I'm like, I usually teeter where it's like, okay, am I first in on first or am I last in on champ?
Yeah.
And that's like, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And it
really
makes a
does.
huge difference.
Yeah.
So that'll be really fun to see how that kind of stacks out and how that kind of plays. Jason Bird, what are your thoughts? You are uncharacteristically quiet, maybe.
I have a contrarian opinion, and just so everyone knows, my opinion has no weight on this, but I would encourage Travis to set the course up at 6,200 yards, just like Brack, because I think the PC Masters identity is to be scoring. So that's my contrarian opinion.
Yes, and it holds no weight, I can assure you.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we should encourage scoring for the PC Masters and then encourage toughness at the PC Open. That's the identity of the 2 championships.
But
we did it at almost.
I think first day it was set up to score. I do not think the second day.
I agree.
Certainly not.
I
again,
disagree
like I
with
said,
that then too. I just think we should do everything we can to encourage scoring for the PC Masters.
Not 6,200. That's
where Brack plays.
Yeah, I know, but that's not where we're playing.
I will set the course up fairly. I'm not gonna do anything crazy to it. I still got to play it myself.
Like
I
if we were
suck.
playing Mission Del
So-
Lago in the PC Open, I think we could make that shit real hard.
Oh, I mean, you can make that golf course hard anytime. Like that's not the problem. I think going to Mission though, I think, one, to be honest, I love Brack. Don't get me wrong. But I also know that if I go play Brack, like for players like me, like I don't go out and consistently, like for me, I'm not going to fire off a 67 or a 68. I've put up a 69 or 2 out there. I've put up a 70 out there in competition, but like I'm not going to go out and shoot that. And if I get thrown in champ flight or even first flight, people are going to go shoot low. I like the idea of Mission playing longer. I like that it's a little bit of a tougher golf course, and I think
so
that
too.
But I think that's how the majors should be. If we're being completely honest here, yes, the U.S. Open, the British Open, they tend to be very difficult. The Masters, I like seeing. I honestly would rather see scores. I'd rather see someone go and win shooting, at +2 or 3. Like
I think there's 2 different sets of golf skills you can test in the 2 majors we have. One is someone's ability to go make birdies. That's an entire skill set in its own. I don't have it. I don't make birdies in bunches very often, but
Casey does.
I think it's a unique skill set that I would like to see tested in a 2-day tournament. Is it's like, hey, it's here, go get it, and watch how many people who can't go get it. And then, of course, there's the PC Open, which I think its identity is to be like, hey, you grinded out pars. Who can grind out the most pars, right? I liked having that dichotomy between the 2 majors. And I think that's lost when we don't go to Brack, I would love to see the PC Masters at Mission Del Lago get won by a combined like 10 under. I would love that. Someone go out there and shoot 67 2 days in a row.
That very well could happen from 68.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
It
Mission
could.
Del Lago is going to be incredibly. I mean, it's not going to be a monster day. It's not going to be anything like that. The golf course is going to be, of course, it's going to be set up.
We all know what
flight
Mission
appropriately.
People shoot under par in Mission.
Yeah, it's not like people don't go low at Mission. But what I like about this is that it doesn't guarantee. If we look at the people who are in the top 10 right now, there's a lot of them that are winning out of net. And I think it's probably at least 50% of that top 10 is probably a primarily winning net. I think it's an interesting thing. I think it's a good challenge to let those top 10 people that have been playing well and that have put up good scores and been able to compete. I think it's good that there's a little bit more of a challenge versus Brack, where they can maybe go ho-hum around and not have to go make birdies. I like the grind for par, but I also think we've all played Mission enough. I think we all know how Mission plays, and I think it's set up appropriately. People will shoot just fine.
Yeah.
All they're going to be asked to do is at worst, maybe there's an extra club in the bag. Maybe that person who if at Brack they would have maybe been hitting driver 7-iron, now they're going to have to hit driver 6-iron. There's going to be an increase in distance. It is what it is. We know what Mission is, but I think it'll be perfectly fair, acceptable. And I would still wager that we're going to see someone in champ flight go low. I think we'll see someone in first flight shoot okay and go low. And I think second, third, and fourth flight will shoot appropriately for Mission Del Lago and for a 2-day event. Because that's the other thing is, I mean, run through that top 50 list. How many of these people, how many of those players, how many players is this their first time playing 36 holes in a 2-day event? Yeah. That's the other thing with all these new players too.
Yeah.
Let's look at the top 10 real quick while we're talking about
Good thoughts, Bird. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I like your theory when it's at Brack, when it's not different.
I think I would overall like to test 2 different skill sets, but I understand that some people could feel some type of way about a Mission Del Lago playing from the whites for championship flight. So I get it. And there's only 3 tee boxes per hole or 4 tee boxes. I get it. It might be impossible to do what I'm saying. So
Well, and I also think too, you can set it up however you want, but think about when we went to Almost. Almost by every account is not an easy golf course. It's just not. And you get to look at some scores here, and that's my bad. I mean, you've got some people who went out there, and I apologize. I thought it would be a little bit bigger. But you got like a +3, +4 from first flight out of Hunter and Ruben Ramirez. You've got Scotty Williams up there. You've got Tyler Pascal winning at 79.82.
What a chop!
I mean,
Send me that
it was Steven Evans, Bart. There's a couple of those guys shot under par. Who is that? That's Will Griffin and Bart and Coy Breen all shot under par at Almost. But everyone else, I mean, +4, +6, I mean, and so forth. Even if the course is set up, it doesn't mean, even if the course is set up to be the distance, it doesn't mean anything. The golf course still is the golf course. It still can take your lunch money no matter how you set it up. It's not, I mean, I think John Martinez had a good call out here. Mission will be tough if you are not hitting accurately or straight. Otherwise, shooting even, ±1 will be there. I think that's perfectly
overall. You could spray it there, right?
I think you can get away with it a little bit more at Mission.
You can't spray it on number 1, but you can spray it right on 2. You can spray it right on 3.
Yeah, you can't spray it right on 3. That's auto bogey.
I mean,
I don't agree with that.
I mean,
I've been down that
I think
fairway
right on
number
2 can be an auto bogey too if you're in the woods.
I mean, I guess
You're not getting out of the woods on 3.
I mean, if you play from 6,200, maybe you just drive it over that creek and then right's open, right, Sando?
That sounds great.
If it's 6,200, yes.
I mean, from 6,200, I mean, everything's clearable and there's no trouble.
Yeah, and where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I agree.
Like I like the fact that Mission can be like, I look at Mission and I sit there and I spend a lot of time driving for work. Like I spend hours in the car. And so I literally just go through and play golf courses in my head and I think about different shots. I do this stuff all day long. And I'm sitting there just I was thinking about Mission all day today. And I'm just thinking, how does that golf course play? Like for me, what do I need to do? Whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking about it and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just trying to survive the first 6 holes in my mind. In my mind, I'm just like, get through 6 holes. And after that, I can play the rest of it. There's only one hole that I kind of get in my head about, and that's on the back 9 that I get to, and it is what it is. I'm like, but Mission, I think even if you set it up easy for me, you're still going to have the challenges. Like they just,
I mean, there's definitely some difficult tee shots there for sure. Like 1 in 10 are really hard tee shots.
So
10's not hard from 6,200.
I mean, I would love to play at 6,200.
Let me ask you this, Bird. Do the greens become easier from 6,200? Because the greens are completely different from Brack.
I mean, they're punched, so they're going to be tough regardless.
I mean, they're going to be in good shape.
I'm not talking about that.
That's such a Bird answer.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely fighting it. I'm ready to move on from him because we're not going to be able to, talk him back down to reality of what Mission is.
Oh, and he.
What is Mission?
Let's be clear. Bird's never really been in reality. Trying to talk him back down.
What are we trying to talk about? Mission is long. It's tough. I agree. I don't disagree with that.
Well, I don't think anyone's trying. I have zero interest in trying to sway your response. I mean, if you want to get up and go set up the golf course, you feel free to go do that.
No, he's not allowed to anymore.
I'll be up at 4 a.m. driving down to San Antonio and do that. If you want to come help me set it up, you can. I will let you set it up how you want to set it up. If you go,
I got out of course set a long time ago. I mean, towards the end there, I just took Travis's whole location notes and just did it for him. I mean, at that point, I don't want to be the one that people yell at me. I just got tired of that.
Oh, I mean, I don't really. I mean, that's the thing. I don't care.
This course is too easy, Bird. What the hell?
Jason Bird sets up the golf course super hard.
People.
For Jason, it's I like to play the tips on everything, and it's easy from 6. Jason Bird, 6,200 yards for Bird is 6,800 for some of us.
I really didn't do that, or at least I didn't intentionally do it, but people would bitch about it all the time. So that's why I stopped setting up courses. That's why Travis just does it, and at best I go spray paint the holes he gives me,
Like I usually set up one of every 3 events. Like I'll take a Friday and go do it. Like I to be honest, it's kind of the same thing. Like I know exactly where the tee boxes usually are and where the friggin' pins usually are. Like I'm gonna go put them in the spots that we're all somewhat familiar with. But I mean, ultimately, you know, how we set up the golf course is still done through what Travis and what the tour director is saying that needs to be set. Like we're not randomly picking stuff. It's not stuff that like we're doing to make hard. It's all stuff that we know, like, okay, this is where these tee boxes need to be. This is the yardages. You know, we're making sure that the percentages in the distances are accurate, that kind of thing.
A lot of thought
and the
goes
pins,
into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's
We
not
talked
like
about
we
that
walk
last time. I think
Yeah,
we talked about that after the Northern Hills event and how Travis calculated 17 and 18 and all that
Yeah.
good stuff.
and so you know, and
What-
it's the same
what-
thing with pins. Like
what
we don't
this
go
actually-
pick random pins.
What this doesn't allow for us, sadly, is for Travis not to set out the pins that he loves for the Masters, like the Sunday at Brack, like the 18 on the left side and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think you lose that drama too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 17 and 18 are drama-filled holes at Brack that I think you just sort of lose with Mission Del Lago.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I would much rather lose that element than give up golf conditions, give up course conditions.
No, I agree. Brack is in terrible condition. I don't disagree with the move or anything. I think it's sad that we have to miss Brack 2 years in a row. It's just
Fair.
it makes me sad. Literally, it depresses me to think about that because that's the identity of that championship. It's 2 years in a row we've had to miss it. It's just, and I love that golf course, and I know Sando and everyone knows that it's probably my favorite golf course on the planet, and it's just really sad that we've had to miss it for 2 years. So it's hard for me to get super enthused about Mission Del Lago. I understand why it had to move, and it is way better conditions at Mission Del Lago, but I'm just overall sad about it.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, it makes sense, and obviously, it is a really. I mean, I love Brack. It's a fun golf course. It's a fun weekend there. You know, Travis brought it up last week, and I was thinking about it when I was looking at the pictures. As I was going through pictures, the par 3 competition. Remember doing that on the Friday night before?
I ask every year if we could bring that sucker back.
That was so much fun. Like that. I mean, that's a lot of people. Like that's how I met like Joe Workman for the first time. Like it was like 2018. Joe Workman showed up after we had already played. He wanted to get his round in. Travis is like, okay, send MD. And I went and just rode with him while he played his 9 holes and got his score in. And like that, I mean, that was so much fun. Like that was such a good time. And the par 3 competition used to be.
That's a great idea.
That would be so much fun to bring back if we could make it work. But to Travis's point, the way golf has exploded in the last 3 years, it is tougher and tougher to grab.
I got to do that
Like
once.
that.
I got to do that event once before we stopped it. I think it was probably the 2019.
I was about to say, I think 2019 was.
Is that the year
last time we
Keeker
did it.
won the only skins?
I think so. Yeah. And he won
Yeah.
like
Won all.
$1,000.
And he could only take $750 at the time because the new rules hadn't come in. So like the South Texas Match Play Challenge got the rest. Oh man, that was great.
I was
He was
there for that
he won like all 4 skins or something. Like he had like the round of his life.
It was a great time. Like I loved the par 3 competition. But you know, I think the Masters though, like the Masters is always, I think, just a lot of fun. I always like the 2-day events.
Yeah.
I do like that. I think it's a lot of fun to go to bed that night and be in contention or going to sleep with the lead, and waking up that next morning and having eyes on you. That's just such a cool feeling, and that's, you know, it's the perfect way to end the spring season. And I mean, it's been a pretty grueling battle going in. So I know Casey. I want to go back to Casey. I'm going to pull up the top 10 list. Casey spent a lot of time running through scenarios and outcomes and what could potentially happen with points and all this kind of stuff. I want to pull up the top 10 list. Let's run through the top 10 real quick. And then, Casey, I want to get just some of your insights and some of your feedback. You've always been really good about making, point predictions, where certain lines are going to be, that kind of stuff. I want to get your insights looking at that top 10 list. Who do you think is safe and who's going to be threatening this weekend, especially going into Mission. So I'm going to pull up the top 10 here. We'll jump through the top 10 first. So Willie Nichols, number one in the point standings right now. He's holding a 45-point lead over Morgan Graff. Morgan Graff has stayed at second place after her finish last week. Mark Chesky, coming off a great weekend at Cedar in that two-person event. He moves up and jumps into the top three. Stephen Evans, another great weekend for him, up 2 spots to get into fourth. Greg Graff into fifth, dropped a couple of spots after the weekend. Bradley Gilbert in sixth place. You've got Jolly Shackelford. He missed the last event, so he dropped a little bit down to number 7. Dustin Hassan, been there before, T8 right now, up 1 after a good weekend. Kevin Tennyson played some really good golf this past or 2 weekends ago at Cedar, biggest mover, up 5. And his partner, Jonathan Harder, up 4. Pretty solid week, pretty solid numbers out of the top 10. You've got a couple of people that have been there before that have made the team going into this position. You've got some people that this is their first time in the top 10. Casey, let's get some of your insights and some of your thoughts.
Well, we can start with number 1 or we can start with number 10. I don't want to go through them all. I think it'd be fun to just tell everybody and learn about maybe Willie Nichols' best outcome scenarios. I did run through points, and if I calculated right, if we're maxed out at 136 players this weekend, and I believe the flights, that would make maybe 11th net the last place that you could absolutely finish. So with that being said, everybody in the top 10, technically there are still enough points out there to earn to gain a spot on the South Texas Match Play team. Now, of course, if you're closer to 10th place, the odds are a little bit lower and you need more to happen for you, which also means you need to be a little bit better. But if you're in Willie Nichols' situation, where you've almost run the table this year, out of 9 tournaments, Willie Nichols has 4 victories. That's either net or gross victories, and a T5 finish at the San Pedro Match Play. So that's where he's at. That's a ton of points earned. So if you take a look for Willie Nichols to finish top 3 minimum, okay, and earn a spot on the South Texas Match Play team, Willie Nichols needs a 4th net or better. So 4th net in his flight or better, and he's on the South Texas Match Play team. That will place him third with nobody that's able to pass him. If Willie Nichols does a little bit better than that and takes a 3rd gross or better, he can lock up season champ. There you go. And behind him. There's a lot riding on playing well at Mission,
Yeah. And obviously Mark sitting in 3rd, he's 125 points back, but Morgan really only being 45 points off the pace. There really can be some interesting outcomes depending on, if some people show up this weekend and they can put up, some solid numbers, or if someone just doesn't have a good weekend, I feel like there can be a lot of drastic changes on that board for sure.
Oh yeah, there's so many opportunities for everybody to kind of jump and shuffle each other, and I don't want to go through how many tie situations I found because
I love ties.
we're in a situation where we could have a T3 where
Which
4 people
we know
qualify,
can happen.
which we
It's
have
happened
had.
before.
We now have officially seen that happen, so we know it can happen.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's I think to Bird's point, I think 17 and 18, obviously at Brack, a lot of drama coming down the stretch. But I think what we learned last year at Olmos, it was cool to be able to watch Bart and those guys finish up. Obviously, as they were duking it out for winning the championship itself, but where we saw an unbelievable amount of drama and math was up on the porch looking down onto 18 as all the math was being done by Casey and Travis and Dustin, and Laura's in the background and she's doing the math in her head. Everyone's trying to figure out, hey, who's our top 3, and that was pretty damn dramatic to come up with a tie and have 4 players, first time in 10 years that happens. So we know that drama exists, and we definitely know it's going to be a fight. Jeffrey Warren qualifying by winning. So the only way to qualify for the South Texas Match Play Challenge team in spring or summer season is to finish in the top 3 in the point standings. If you do win the PC Masters, or if you win the PC Open, obviously name on the jacket, and a lot of points, but it does not qualify you automatically for the team. But even if you only play one event the entire season and it's this event and you win it, you'll automatically qualify to get into the playoffs.
Correct. I was just about to say that.
So we have, because that has actually been the case. I think even last year, Casey, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, we had some players who, if I do recall correctly, maybe only played 1 or 2 events, or maybe only played the PC Masters. I know we had some people who made the team having maybe only gotten in because of 1 or 2 wins, or won the Masters or won the PC Open to get into the playoffs.
And they play very well in the playoffs. So.
Yeah. I think Trevor Bailey was one of those names. I know Trevor.
Mark Konchesky played a bunch last year. It might have been his rookie year, but he did win a major, and he was in the he made a run. He made a run.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about those people who started with like very low points and made the team in the playoffs, but got in because even they just managed to qualify because they won that event or something like that. So you can absolutely at least make the playoffs and qualify. And like we always say, it's always best to start the playoffs with as many points as possible. But historically, we have seen players come in with 1 point going into the playoffs, win 2 or 3 of the 4 rounds, and have a really good 2 weekends and make the team. It's not out of the question. It happens actually more often than not. So that's pretty cool. I did want to pull up some pictures and just kind of reminisce a little bit about some of the players from previous years, some winners, some people up there on the screen that we've known through the years, and some stuff like that. So first and foremost, as someone who has not won a cookie this year, I'm really hoping Laura does a repeat of last year and has a PC Masters cookie to hand out to the masses.
Delicious.
We need to put a stipulation in there that you have to finish 18 holes, though.
I would agree with that. I'm fine if you don't want to finish your 18. I'll eat your cookie. I think I ate probably 7 of these that day. It was great. But shout out to Laura Lewis. Shout out to the Cake Place and more. Always make amazing cookies. This was our PC Masters. Just, hey, you played. Thank you for playing cookie winner.
It's the tea gift.
It's the tea gift. Very, very accurate. That would be correct. I'm trying to remember if I should have a picture of it here somewhere, and I'm kind of mad because I thought I did have them. I'll have to go back and find it. The cookies she made last year had the jacket on it. They looked awesome last year. I'm super excited. I'm excited every weekend to see what Laura does. It seems like the cookies always manage to, she takes it to a different level every week and get more creative. And the little Stephen Evans character on the cookies at Northern Hills were great. And
I gotta ask her if you posed for that.
I think she went off of this picture.
Oh, look how cute!
That's the picture that she used to go. That little Stephen, look at him with no hair. That is. Well, and it's funny because I saw that picture, but then I had this picture of him with Bart, and I'm like, look at that hair, just glorious.
He's like a rat.
Like, this child is going to come out. This child is going to be born into a dad with short hair. She's never gonna know the flow. But let's pull some pictures. And I'm gonna go kind of sporadic. Casey, and I'll let you guys guess what year the winner is from.
Okay.
I wanna test your history.
Casey knows all this.
Casey does know all this. And you know what? Let's leave it to the comments too. If someone out there knows it, tell us the name of the person who won. So I'm gonna pull up pictures. Tell me the name of the person. Tell me the year they won, and bonus points if you can tell me if they won net or gross. Some of these guys is going to be like automatically we know they won net. Some of these guys we know automatically they won gross. So let's start it off. I'm gonna start it off with a little bit of a curveball. You should know who the person is, but he's a multi-winner. So tell me what year. Let's go.
Casey Carnes.
Who is this?
Well,
I don't know who this is.
But what year Casey Carnes is this?
Well, it's on his sleeve.
Shut up. I don't know if they're zoomed in or not.
I guess that's 2017, I guess.
And you're assuming Travis was on top of it and got it updated.
That's fair.
That could be from 2018 for all we know. It says 2015, but who knows? So anyone out there in the comments, anyone know? Obviously, it's Casey Carnes. Does anyone know what year this is? Casey, do you know what year it is? I got 2017. Casey, can you confirm?
It's definitely 2017. I mean, he's always had it stitched up right before the tournament. So
you're really making this game a lot of fun.
2017.
It was probably
2017.
It was probably
a gross win.
That year where he kind of egged Barnes into you need to go back to back to tie Aaron Flores type situation. And I'm sure Casey Carnes made a 7-footer on 18 because he had to do it.
Do you know? What would have been really cool is if you knew the score off the top of your head.
Oh.
Ooh.
Do you know, MD?
3 and 2? 3 under, 2 under?
Yeah, I was about to say 6 under total, 7 under total.
I went through so many Golf Geniuses this afternoon. I am all sorts of confused by myself.
Did they have Golf Genius back then?
Well, probably not for this one. I went back. I was going back to I went through. I think back to 2019 and 2018. I was looking at scoreboards. I was looking at Golf Genius.
It could be 2018. 2018 Carnes shot 71-64, 7 under. So possibly. I mean, I don't have 2017 in the books, but
okay. So then we're gonna just move on to the next person.
Nice. Is it Mr. Bird?
Go.
Oh, it's nice.
Brad Huey.
Yeah.
The A squad.
Who is that, Casey?
With a jacket win.
Look at him.
That's the guy that you dumped me for.
I think we
much more handsome.
I remember eating a cookie the last time we played together.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know, scorecard playoff maybe? Oh no,
you made him.
Got him.
Yes, scorecard playoff. I went 3 holes and you won because
I'll give a fun fact about this picture. This was before I met this guy, and all I knew was that he was a massive sandbagger.
Yep, I
I
remember
noticed
that.
he won a jacket, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
just gotta play
Like,
with that guy.
who is this guy? This guy's just
Was he rocking a 10 or 11 handicap back then, huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
and driving
it
the
was
ball 400 yards.
That was disgusting.
It
He
was
can
hot.
drive the ball a long way. Yes.
Yeah. I watched him hit a shot on. I watched him hit a tee shot on 16 on like Friday before the PC Masters, and I was like, "There's no way anyone's gonna beat this guy. He's like at 11. There's no way." And they didn't. He got it. Who is it? Casey. I'll
Brad
let you
Huey.
say it. Oh,
Yeah, Brad Huey. Come on, man.
Cards.
Why is Bird saying it like it's? Yeah, we all know it's Brad.
Was this 2019?
I think it was 20. This is 20.
It had to be his rookie year.
2020.
2020?
It had to be his rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think 2020.
Yeah, this was Sandbagger Brad to me. I didn't know him back then, but obviously, one of the
Look at him,
the
a
power
little
couples
clean
on
shaven.
tour now. So
He's not married yet.
Power couples.
one of the power couples.
Was he dating his wife at the time?
He was.
He
Yeah,
was.
I think I remember her being there. Yeah.
Yeah, the fun story about that is someone was like kind of talking mess about him under the pavilion, and Shelby goes, "That's my boyfriend." Like directly to these guys who are like, "Who's Brad Huey? He's like 15 under net," or complain a little bit, and she's like, "That's my boyfriend." It's so funny.
That's awesome.
I don't know who told me that story. I feel like my dad told me that story. Maybe
Brad
my
Huey
dad
was in second flight that year, and you know what he shot?
He shot like 74.
I have it in my I have it in my email actually. Well, yeah. So
Because everyone emailed and said, adjust that guy.
I think he did get adjusted. He shot 74 and then even par in round 2 for a grand total
There
of
you go.
24 under
What do
net.
you expect from 6,200, right, Bird?
24 under net, baby.
Bird wants this stuff to happen.
24 under net. What a freaking joke.
What did I say at the beginning? I said Brack's going to let people, improvers, go deep on the net side.
Yeah.
Bird's allowing this to happen.
I think
This is my fault.
I think Mission also protects against people that haven't been adjusted, that are playing it above their
Not necessarily.
to some degrees.
Necessarily.
I
don't
think
think we can make that. I don't think we can make that judgment.
I
you
think
can.
Mission
Look at the
I think-
almost net scores.
almost net scores were
Well,
not
Mark
super
went-
deep.
Mark
The
went
only
deep. Mark
Mark went
last
deep.
year. Obviously,
Well, so
he
did-
won, but
so did Scotty Williams.
in Morgan Graf too.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
mean-
a sandbagger.
Who is this? Who we're talking about?
Willie and
kidding.
Morgan are sandbaggers. God, they're both so good.
Yeah. Do you have
Morgan's just made incredible leaps and bounds. Willie Nichols is working out, and he's doing a lot of like behind.
Is
the scenes,
Willie
a lot of
bagging
fitness stuff.
sand over there?
I mean, he is carrying bags of sand, and he is running them up
quite
hills.
literally to work out? He is carrying bags of sand.
Quite literally. But to be fair, Scotty, you beat him by 5, but he didn't finish. So
Oh, I thought Williams was calling a PC Masters winner this weekend already.
I mean,
strokes. I mean, damn.
he's already
Patrick-
he's calling himself the winner for Kohler. So why not call himself the winner for?
Well, DeCosmo's playing this weekend, and DeCosmo got the first
Heck yeah.
alternate at Texas AM qualifying this past week.
Yep.
So Doc's playing well.
He is playing really good.
I gave Doc some tough love mental advice, and he ended up using it in his round, and he said it helped him a lot. Does anybody want to know what I told him?
I want to do an on the clock, but with on the clock mental golf.
Okay. I'll make this short. We're playing our practice round. He's hitting a couple sprayed shots, and he has his typical DeCosmo reactions. And on the 4th tee box, I stopped and I said, "Hey, I'm going to tell you something, but you can't be mad at me." And he's like, "Okay." And I said, "I promise you can't be mad at me." And I told him to stop talking after every single shot. But I said in a way that was like, "Dude, I don't care. Stop talking. Just let it go." And he was like looking at me like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Just figure it out." And then the next day, takes a triple on hole 2, plays the rest of the round 2 under, and said that he didn't react after any shot. He just kind of hit it and let it go.
There it is.
Wow.
There it is, guys.
Just
in the words of Ted Lasso, just be a goldfish.
Amen. Amen.
Nice.
That is the best thing I can say as a former angry golfer. I can tell you.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
Former?
Let it.
Former.
I would argue that I am 90% less angry.
Yeah. You're rehabilitated for sure.
I have. Oh, shut up, Casey. I see you making faces. I have my moment like every other freaking human being. Yep, go away. I don't care. I don't feel remotely bad. I am not an angry golfer anymore. I am relatively rehabilitated.
Relatively.
MD's finishing rounds now.
Hey, Bird, can you
You
tell
know,
the
I
audience
think I've got 2 rounds that I have not finished. That is it. Like, and I haven't walked on. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. It's fine. Rehabilitated.
Tomorrow's a new day.
I have my
Here
Zen
you go,
books
fish.
and my. It's fine. It's all.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's
It's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
Fine.
We're
It's
okay.
fine.
Like,
Birdman,
the only-
Birdman, do you have any favorites for the jacket this weekend?
Let's talk about who maybe is a pick. Like the two guys at the bottom of the screen are at the top of my list.
You know,
I like that.
I think I might make some noise and shoot like 80-80 and take like T7.
You're just sandbagging wrong, Bird.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Oh, here comes Travis. I think he meant MD. But thank you for watching.
Thank you, Travis.
Tour director, as he is doing a million other things on the back end in preparation for the tournament. Some of you may not know, but most of us on this screen have full-time jobs. So we also come home and then go do tour-related stuff like Travis, not nearly as much. So Travis is getting all that stuff ready to go. We've got it's a busy week for him. It's a busy week for him and busy week for the tour. So
Sandu, Birdman chooses himself for the jacket. What do you think? What do you got?
Look, I'll
I said
say
I was
it.
going to shoot 80-80.
I'll say it. I got Morgan Graff on the net side to win.
Okay.
The odds
She's
are
been
pretty
winning
good on
gross in her flight, though, not net. Have you
I mean,
noticed that?
Well,
It's
if
even
Joe
more.
Workman could finish a tournament, and I'm going to just say it, I don't even feel bad about it. He knows what he did.
Wow.
I got Morgan
I
Graff
don't
for
know,
some
man.
kind of jacket. I'll just
Okay.
gross or
Well,
net.
it ain't going to be gross.
you don't know that.
Ain't
for
gonna-
I have
sure.
to- I will bet everything I own on that.
I've got
I hope she's not
10,000 to 1. It
I
is
hope she's not
gross.
listening right now, but I will bet everything I own on it.
I'll take that for
Got a really nice car.
Yeah, I literally every world possession I have, like I will put up against that to not win the jacket on gross side.
And it's
I
not
heard-
being. What
we-
do you think? What are we thinking the net score
Listen,
is?
I'm taking out personal loans, going and getting as much liquid as I can so I can take the odds on that one. I am burning all my credit to bet on Morgan not
So-
winning gross.
So then, do we have any for on the gross side for other contestants, maybe in different flights than Morgan? Do we have any murder hornets on the tee sheet this weekend? Like, or do we have a Bart
Both
Wilson
jacket
coming
winners from a
back?
different flight.
Bart Wilson is in the field
Ooh,
currently.
that's a good one. Bart always plays well.
Yeah,
Bart
I know he's in the
Wilson,
field. In the field currently, but I think he had something come up when I don't know. He may not. He
I
may have to
don't-
withdraw.
Cosmo, Dishman.
I don't have the official list. I was about to say, Bird, can you give us just some names that maybe we haven't seen them recently? I know Dishman made the return a couple of weeks ago, but
Yeah.
some names that we don't normally see that have come out for the Masters.
I mean, Bart
Jason
Wilson was definitely on that
Sandoval.
list.
I know Casey's been slowly working his way back. Did Casey Carnes sign up, or did he not?
That's probably
I
too
don't-
soon, right?
I did not see Casey Carnes sign
Okay.
up, but I see Jolly Shackelford's in the.
I knew Jolly would be back. I think Jolly's going to be someone to watch out for sure.
Zach Johnson's back. He hasn't been
Hey,
around a while.
CJ.
He could win.
Excited to have him back. Yep.
You know, Tyler's playing really well. I mean, Tyler might make noise. Honestly, in the gross side, that dude's been playing super good.
Steve Evans, obviously.
Steve Evans is always a favorite.
Steven Evans.
It's time to
Sean Vidal.
I'll be on.
We're gonna slay the Red Dragon this weekend.
My pick, I honestly, in my heart of heart, I honestly believe I think Casey Graham. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to get in his head. I'm not trying to do anything. I honest to God believe Casey Graham is going to be.
He's playing well.
He's playing really good golf.
Well, I appreciate.
He's playing really good golf.
He had to go cry for
really
a minute.
smart golf and responsible golf. And
Seth Henry's in the field. He could win.
Oh yeah.
Seth can go low.
Seth's one of the deepest drivers I've ever seen on tour.
Oh, deep.
What did I just say at the beginning of the podcast? Length is your friend at Mission.
Especially from 6,200.
At Mission, listen,
I
at
love
Monster Day, Seth Henry put it almost 5-10 yards from in the water on number 11.
Yes.
I mean, are you serious?
Yes.
Jeez. So yeah, he's got that going for him.
I think there are a lot of players. I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to be up there. I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm going to throw some names out there, I mean, I'd like to think I'll be in contention.
MD.
I feel like
I'll put the gross at 5 under. I think. I'm playing for net. By the way. And then the net,
I'm
I
not
think
playing for
16. I think 16.
Yeah.
I honestly do think 16.
Yeah, I think 16.
I'd put the gross at like 2 or 3, depending on wind and depending on what we decide for setup, easy or hard. But
you know what? I'm gonna say net is 14. I'm gonna say someone goes really, really low the first day.
Sliced handicap.
And then the handicap gets it. Well, that's what
Thanks
happened
for
with
playing.
Scotty Williams. That was Scotty Williams last year. He friggin' played an amazing round of golf. He was already playing amazing golf, but he went super deep on day 1. Day 2, he kind of repeated it, and then he got the cut, and that hurt him a little bit. So I think that could potentially be a case, but I think 14 is a good number for net. I think that's going to be. I mean, there is a little bit of strategy to that piece of it too on the net side. Is you kind of have to know like I can't. Obviously you're not trying to put up bad scores, but at the same time just kind of be aware of the fact that it's like if I overplay it today, where am I going to be sitting tomorrow?
there's only a handful.
I say overplay it as much as you can. Just keep going. If you're feeling it, keep going. Just go.
Oh yeah, if you're in the rhythm, keep
Yeah.
firing. But it's also, it's something. I'm thinking about it when I go out there, and I'm like, not that I'm worried about going deep on, going to, get net 10 under or something like that. But like, it's something that's like I'm concerned about, or especially as I get into the higher handicappers, where I'm seeing. Look at what happened at Northern Hills. Northern Hills, we had some players that went super deep. We're putting up 14 under by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and their handicap was accurate. They had an established handicap, but they put up a round, and that's what happens. And that's, again, I think that's the other side of the Masters that makes it just as interesting. So. That I think is a really big piece of it too, and I think 4 under on the gross side.
Can we have a weather report from our chief meteorologist Jason Bird for this week?
Yeah, Jason Bird.
What do we see on the weather?
Weather should be
hard
pleasant.
data.
It should be cooler than normal, and maybe minimal chances of rain. Won't be 0%, but if it does rain, it'll probably stop the tournament because it'll likely be thunderstorms.
Is the fan going to be on this weekend?
The fan definitely will be on this weekend.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
God, I love Mission with.
Well, I
The
guess
fan on.
I guess that depends on what your definition of the fan is.
When would you say the word fan? That's my definition of it.
The standard southerly fetch is like 10 to 15, and anything above that, I would say the fan's on.
That's what we want.
I'd say
want
15 is when the fan turns on.
Want 30 with drizzles.
Who turned the fan on?
Who turned the fan on? That's my favorite thing to say.
Helps with
I need to go.
scooters.
I love that shit.
I need to go figure out the. I can't find my rain gear.
And so if that is
no.
the baseline, is
I'm
that
not happy.
the standard fetch? I mean, it's actually going to be the fan will be turned off.
Okay.
It's going to be pretty still out there, to be honest.
Oh, no wind in the 100? Perfect.
No, it'll be no wind in like 85.
80s, yeah.
It's going to be pretty nice because there's going to be a northerly wind, so it's going to be different than we're used to.
That does change mission.
Can you, for those of us who are not navigators, can you tell us what that means as far as how that affects the golf course? Like, what wind are we used to seeing out there, and where do we see that impact?
I mean, the predominant wind.
South.
The predominant wind is off the Gulf, so it would be out of the southeast, which would put 1 and 2 kind of downwindish, but now they'll be into the wind. 4 will be kind of into the wind, 6 into the wind, but then 7 will be down when it's usually in.
Yeah. They're like the holes that run the same length in my mind are like 1, 9,
10 downwind means everyone's just blasting it over the gorge.
Yeah.
Like 13 is in that same direction, 11's in that same direction. So there's like that set of holes that definitely switch like from the super downwind to the into wind, and then all the other ones kind of become more of like a different kind of crosswind. But it's really important, right? Like 1 and 9 and 10 and 11 are pretty important holes, right?
Well, I mean, how does that? I'm trying to think of how that wind impacts. Like, look at like 16.
16
over that.
16 is going to be into now.
Yeah, I mean
which would probably be a tee box up now instead of maybe that 200 or whatever it can play from back there.
Yep.
So.
I mean that definitely adds to the challenge here, and I think that'll be really exciting. We'll kind of have a better idea of what the we got a question out there from Cassie.
What is NTP?
Who is that?
Is that?
He's not even looking at the camera.
NTP. I assume he means notice
Network
to
time
players.
protocol. Notice to players. That's tomorrow.
Notice to players. Notice to players is tomorrow. Non-tour professional. I like that one better. Notice to players. First notice to players can be expected tomorrow night. Registration, as I said earlier, is closed. If you do want to get on the wait list, you can definitely feel free to shoot an email to the email below, info@stxamtour.golf, to get on the wait list. So there is that, but notice to players, first notice to players, again, it will be out tomorrow night. Anticipate second notice to players by Thursday night, latest Friday morning. But first notice to players will be out Wednesday. We'll also have be on the lookout, obviously, for your Golf Genius GGID email. Keep an eye out for those regular emails that you will see following sign up and all that. And it'll be interesting. We'll post, obviously, a breakdown of we'll have the link to the live leaderboard, and we'll have posted the tee sheet. It'll be interesting to see how that tee sheet ends up shaping up. Obviously, we've got some names coming out that haven't played as much this year. We've got a lot of players coming back, playing in their, maybe their 7th, 8th Masters. We got a lot of new players out there this year. This will be their first 2-day event. This will be their first time at the PC Masters. So it's going to be a good mix of players. And, I think the golf course will, of course, we have a predetermined or kind of preset idea and strategy for how that course gets laid out. We're having fun with it, talking about it, but ultimately we know that golf course is going to get set up appropriately for the weekend and for the players out there. It's not going to be a monster day, so don't worry about that. But it is going to be a lot of fun. you've got these. No, excuse me, that is the wrong one. I thought I had the right one up. Actually, we can actually go off this one. So I can confirm that this was the 2018 Masters. There you go. Now Ron Tash coming up there and on the net side, but that picture confirms 2018. Boom.
Ron Tash, you see that dude on the charity tournament circuit all the time.
2018, 3 flights in 2018.
3 flights in 2018.
Business is booming.
Business is a booming.
We've had some growth.
Golly, shout out to COVID.
Yeah.
Golf, I mean, the exponential growth of golf in this country and the amount of golf being played in San Antonio is stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I saw an article that said San Antonio is like the 4th largest golf market.
I would have to imagine that's the case. I mean, you can rule out every place that has winters, and then, I don't
think that's true. No, because I think Chicago is like number 2 or 3.
Well,
Yeah.
is it 2 or 3?
I mean, there's a lot of golf.
I don't remember. I mean,
there's definitely.
I know Chicago is one of the cities ahead of San Antonio.
There's a lot of golf courses in San Antonio. I lived in Chicago. I mean, there's a bunch of golf courses. Golf is always been big there, but obviously, like, you don't have all year to play it.
Yeah, probably talking about rounds and golf market.
I think the metric was like per capita, how many people like identify as golfers, and number 1 was Phoenix.
I identify as golfer. Look at my little thing that I put.
Number one I remember was Phoenix.
Which, that doesn't surprise me. And again, that's an all year. It's all retired people. It's all old people playing golf and young people going to travel to go play there. So it's, I don't get surprised about that. I would assume. But I think about all the places like I've lived. I think about all the places I've been. Like, it's crazy to go anywhere else. Like, if I go visit my parents or go do something, I'm just sitting there like, I'm used to seeing like 6 golf courses.
Yeah.
Like, I can throw a rock and I'll hit a golf course. And then I go other places where it's like, this is our one golf course that we have. And I'm just like, you peasants.
Do you know the number 1 golf country?
Wait.
Country?
I want to lock in all of our guesses before we know this one, because this might be one of the best questions I've been able to answer. I want to.
Using the same metric of number of golfers, number of people that identify as golfers per capita.
Okay, I'm gonna guess.
Lock it in.
Ireland.
Japan.
Japan's a great guess.
Dang it!
I was gonna say
Japan.
China, but
wait.
Japan was. You've got Scotty Williams saying Japan, Travis Okowski, Scotland.
The UK.
I'm gonna just say South America. Like, does that count? Can I just call South America
continent? But so no.
I just called it. Fine, Mexico. Fuck it, I don't care. Whatever. I failed geography. I don't care.
Okay.
I live in America. Okay.
What is it?
Come on.
Oh yeah. So according to the article I read a few months back, it is Canada.
Canada?
Wow. Okay.
That was friggin'
Boo.
Boo.
Might have changed my life right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Japan.
I'll be honest. There are some. There's obviously some beautiful.
Hideki won. I thought maybe Japan would have been like.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's
I don't
some beautiful
these studies. I don't conduct these studies. I just report what I read.
There are some absolutely gorgeous courses in Canada.
For sure.
That I don't doubt. But
I guess because everyone's a hockey player, so
it's
that
either,
also
yeah,
makes them
I guess
also a golfer in a way.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a Tilly.
By default, if you play hockey, which is everyone in Canada, you're a golfer.
So then everyone's a golfer. Ipso
fair.
facto, I'm your boss.
I think that is accurate.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Guys, I do want to also call out while we are on air. Summer season coming up fast. We're sitting here talking about the Masters, obviously, coming up this weekend. But June 11th, 2-person 666 BRAC open for registration. So we are already into summer season in signups. The points will reset come this Sunday night. We will have a top 3. We'll be crowning a PC Masters gross and net champ. We'll have our 3 players to earn their spot on the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. But the points reset. The race is on again for the top 50 in the summer season, securing a spot in the top 3 in the summer season, winning the PC Open at the end of the summer season, and then we move into the playoffs where the rest of us will duke it out for those remaining spots for the South Texas Match Play team. So I feel like it's going to go by quick. I feel like we're going to get back from Kohler in a couple of weeks, and I mean, we drive back into town, get back on Sunday, get back to friggin' reality, and that weekend we are right back at it with the first summer event, and from there it's going to fly, and then before you know it, it's playoffs and
the boys of summer. The boys of summer are back.
The boys of summer back. I think that's something that we'll talk about more as we get into the summer season too. All the college students coming back. We're gonna see an influx of golfers that we know who maybe go away for the season, the spring season, because they're off at school, and now summer. We've got those guys coming back.
I don't discriminate. I'll beat anybody, but I don't discriminate on age.
I love these guys coming back. They're all champ fighters. I'm gonna get pushed. I mean, if I play my cards right, I'll be in second flight by midsummer.
Oh shit!
Like,
got goals.
I mean, if I don't get my shit together and start making the birdie, I haven't had a competitive birdie in 2 months. So if I don't make a freaking birdie at some point, I will, and that's a legitimate fact. I've got 7 competitive rounds of golf without a freaking birdie. So if I don't make a fucking birdie,
well, you're gonna have 36 chances this weekend. So best of luck to you.
I told Cindy, I was like, if I don't make a birdie this weekend,
it's over.
Like, it's just done. I'm like, I'm either gonna go to Kohler and I'm gonna just wreck everybody at Kohler because I'll just unload on every birdie that's I've been waiting for, or it's gonna be. I mean,
Casey's face.
Casey's getting all pissed.
Unload on me, baby.
My first round at Kohler last year. 7 birdies to start my week.
don't care. I don't care, dude. I just kept drinking beer last year. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, you didn't care.
Me for
you cared at Sand Valley. You cared there. Greg Keogh, new room, please. You're more than welcome to upgrade to a single and leave me alone.
I mean, you could come with me, Greg. I got you, buddy.
I mean, if we're being real honest here, Keogh, you are my 4th assigned roommate.
Wow.
Since the thing started.
So that means 3 people before you, Greg, said no, please.
Bird, Micah. I'm trying to remember who the third was, but I have had 3 people that have chosen
to get out of it.
He did. He chose to go to a single room versus share a room with me. So.
Well, that's why Kevin Keeney didn't go on the trip, because we told him he was going to have to room with you, and he said, "No, I'm not going."
That's bad.
Oh, I can't wait for our road trip, buddy. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, they're going to kill each other.
Report: Casey Graham doesn't make it back from Kohler. he doesn't show up to
Casey, I think you killed a guy.
Report: MD has a brand new truck. And
he gets dropped off in Tulsa.
No, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't do that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna grab the wheel in the middle of the drive and take us both.
Okay. I was like, you can't say it. This is recorded.
I don't care. At least now we have
Delete the
video
recording.
proof. Yeah, delete the recording.
Okay. All right. Bye,
What?
Casey.
Bye, Casey. Last.
But this is all dependent on if MD makes a birdie this weekend. That's what this
It
is all
is.
dependent on. So
I'm
we need
gonna,
to
and I'm
make a
gonna.
birdie
You know
for
what I'm gonna
Casey
do?
to
I
win.
am gonna extend it to the Friday round as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna give myself.
Right?
I'm gonna give myself 3 rounds to get my shit together and make
I
a
mean, I
birdie.
could show up Friday. We could play for $20, and it'll be a competitive round. You know,
I'm fine with that. Like I'm not playing bad golf. I'm
Although,
just not making any birdies.
if
So
you give in and you do what Bird said and play at 6,200, maybe you'll have 16 birdies because everything will be drivable.
I don't think so because I still don't do that shit at Brack. So, like, it's fine. It's fine.
We can make
You
the
know
course
what?
sure, but we can't make you hit it straight.
I'm going to spend
make a
my
putt.
I'm going to spend my weekend playing golf. I'm going to spend it surrounded by my friends. I'm going to be cheering them on, and I'm going to be not thinking about anything else. That's fine.
Beautiful.
I love
will
not
be-
thinking.
It's going to be great. I am
Beautiful.
ecstatic. Like this is the weekend. Like this stretch of 3 weekends is my favorite stretch of weekends going.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck does that mean, Scotty?
You're throwing
I have
clubs.
I haven't done that in a while. I don't.
New Michael.
New Michael.
Yep.
I
You don't throw clubs?
might gently slide. I don't overhand anything.
Gently slide. All right.
Yeah.
I might go,
yeah.
and I just might slide the wedge down the line. But I do
Oh,
not. I do
Interesting.
not tomahawk.
No throwing clubs this weekend
I have not thrown a club this season
for anybody.
for anybody. I mean, frankly, now I have a kid to deal with. I can't afford to be breaking clubs and then replacing them like I used to.
Papa golf.
It was an expensive habit. Like Cobra, I used to just send a text message to the local sales. I just used to send a text to the sales rep. He's like, at that point, or the sales specialist at Cobra, the rep didn't even want to talk to me anymore. He's like, I'm done with it. So whatever. It's all good. I'm fine. I'm having fun.
It's
this
fine.
is fun. We're
It's-
having fun.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's okay.
Everything's okay. Guys, that is we have been on the air for an hour 30, just about. It is Tuesday, May 16th, 9:30, talking about the PC Masters. Move to Mission Del Lago. First notice to players expected tomorrow night. It is going to be a really, really great weekend. A lot of great golf to be played. I'm just ecstatic to get into this weekend, get everyone out there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Closing thoughts on this show this evening. I want to start out with Jason Sandoval. Closing thoughts on PC Masters weekend coming.
Closing thoughts is Mission Del Lago 2 days going to be a very different dynamic than Brackenridge Park, but I think everyone's ready for it. I think if this is the first 2-day event you've done, just remind yourself that it's 36 holes, not 18. It's more of a long run kind of mentality, but I think that's something we all really enjoy. So always love multi-day events. We only get to do them a handful of times throughout the year, like on the trail or with the TGA or something like that. We only get to do them so often, so they're really fun.
Travis just posted it. You can't win on day one, but you can lose it. That was what I was.
You can lose it.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. If you bogey hole one, don't tell yourself that you're running out of holes because you're not.
Yeah. It's not. You have got 35 more holes.
Even though I have heard Alex Zertucci tell Ben after they bogeyed hole one of a 2-day event, Alex looks up to Ben and goes, "We're running out of holes." It was
We're
one of the best
running
lines
out of holes.
That's one of the best lines I've heard on a golf course.
Oh, that's freaking great. Jason Bird, closing
That's me.
thoughts. What do you got? What are your thoughts on Masters Weekend 2023?
The lowest handicap in the field right now is Patrick DeCosimo.
Woo!
How do you feel about that?
Shout out to A Squad.
Carrying the
A
torch.
Squad.
Shout out to A Squad. Good for them. Good for them. Jason Bird, since you have the list, early projections on me getting into first flight.
Hold on 1 second, buddy. You give me like 2 minutes, I can tell you where everyone's flight's
Oh,
at.
I can vamp for 2 minutes. Casey, give me
Yep.
your closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Want to congratulate everybody in the top 10. You played your way there through this season. Everybody in the top 10 technically still has a chance to qualify for the team. Of course, others, everybody has a different path to get there. Things have to happen. You have to do things. You got to score well. So good luck. 2-day event, 36 holes. Take each hole one at a time. And that's all I got.
Easy enough. Well said. Yeah, guys. I mean, the Masters is it is a marathon, not a sprint. Play smart golf. Know that you're still in it. Know that you're not out of it after a couple of holes. I think it's going to be a really fun weekend. The weather seems to be shaping up nicely for us. A little change in direction and wind is always cool. And I think just Mission Del Lago in general. Again, I think we're getting a quality golf course, quality conditions to go out and play a really big event.
Manuelian is in first flight.
Oh, okay. I was about.
Jason Bird, first flight.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Are you still shooting 80 now? 80,
Dustin Hassan, first flight.
What?
80? Oh, no.
Okay. Well, for 1 second I was like,
Casey
all right.
Graham, first flight.
All right, I am on to summer.
Wait,
Let's
what
go.
am I then?
You are the last in champ flight.
Oh,
That's a
net,
great
baby,
spot.
let's go.
Oh, I sorted this wrong. Hold on.
I was about to say, I'm like, that is a lot. I'm like, that is a stacked champ flight. Then I don't know who's in champ flight to stack it like that.
The college kids came back.
I was like, the moment you started
UTSA
listing off all those first
the UTSA
Bird in
golf
first
team's
flight.
playing.
I sorted
Casey
it by
first flight.
points.
Incarnate
not by
Word
handicap.
all
Okay.
registered all of a
I
sudden.
sorted it by points, not handicap. My bad.
Jeez.
Okay. This is for real now. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Michael DeManuelian, B7.
Oh,
Jason Bird, A22.
Hey, Bird, I can do the math real quick for you. If that's 30
Can I-
points. For
Hey,
last
can I still win the season, Casey?
That's the
Bird, you're gonna have a hard time climbing from 111th place, and yes, I know that because you've done the math.
30
And
points.
I've looked at it.
But I can win and still get into.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, all he has to do is win. He's in the playoffs automatically. So there you go.
Yes.
We are.
That's another.
That being said, we're on to the summer season.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on to summer. Yeah, that's okay. That's gonna be. Well, like we said, it's gonna be a great weekend. Excited to see everybody. I'm sure, undoubtedly, I will see. Oh,
B22, last in first flight. Steve Robert.
Ooh. That's either
Steve.
74 or 94.
Oh,
It's gonna be a great weekend, guys. I am sure I will see two, if not all three of you gentlemen on Friday at some point. Anyone else out there practicing on Friday? If you see me, you see Travis, come up, say hi. Gonna go play in the afternoon, get my practice in there. But it's gonna be a great weekend, guys. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us tonight. Suffering through with dealing with me, and then obviously you have the three cool kids here. I'm just along for the ride, and
Super cool.
You are cool. Casey, our backgrounds aren't as cool as Casey's. Casey is at a rave or something.
He's at Tomorrowland right now.
And I don't even know what's on the pattern on his shirt, but I know the shirt probably is pretty freaking awesome too.
It's Galaga.
Okay, dude, that's freaking awesome. I love that. Like, that's fantastic. But guys, shout out to Jason Sandoval jumping on as a special co-host tonight. Appreciate you doing that. Casey, always excited when softball gets canceled because that means Casey joins the show. Jason, what can I say about Jason? I love Jason.
Which Jason? Who are we talking about right now?
Jason Bird.
That's
Jason
Mr. Bird to you.
There was
That's Mr. Bird to you, sir.
You talk about people ditching each other to go be other people's teammates and stuff like that. That guy right there, Jason Bird. Back in the day, we used to run first flight, 2-man events, and then left me for DeCosmo. DeCosmo has a kid, and you don't bail on him, but
he bails on me all the time. That dude hates me.
I know.
It's an A squad thing. You'll never understand.
I wouldn't break your heart like that.
Hey, Sandoval, we're gonna be paired in the first round.
Oh,
already assigning this information.
You bailed on me last week. So.
Oh my God!
Dang.
All right,
guys.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh, because I had to go to work.
About this off air. We'll talk about this off air. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Shout out to these three guys on the screen. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Appreciate everyone out there watching. Had a lot of viewers. Appreciate the engagement. Super excited to see everyone this weekend. Best of luck to everybody. And we will see you bright and early on Saturday morning, and come Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, we will be crowning the PC Masters champions and our top 3 players of the spring season. And then we are off to Kohler, Wisconsin. Stay tuned as we go do some live shows out of Kohler and that. And then we're right back into it. We're into the spring, into the summer season.
Greg Keogh, Mike Walter-Manuelian paired together.
He's my roommate. We're playing together in Kohler. It's kismet. But event number 1 of the summer season at BRAC, open for registration. Get signed up for that now. You guys already know the drill. It's one of those things that's going to sign up, and it's going to fill up quick. Make sure to go to southtexasamtour.golf. Get registered today. Guys, it's going to be a great time. Appreciate everyone watching tonight. And we will see you Saturday. Guys, thank you. Everyone have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, and we will see you Saturday.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Go Spurs, go! Let's go, baby!
Spurs.
Celtics in 6.